Hey girls, just gonna go through some clips from the PA Classics game. Good opponent, good chat. Be great learning for us to be able to figure out, number one, with the attacking shape and the scenarios in attack, is how to break them down. A team that's pretty compact and stays disciplined to their defensive shape. So as you see with the build up with Erica and Ella here, everything looks good to start. But I think one of the things we have to start recognizing is, in order to keep them a little bit more honest, is maybe pushing our outside backs a little bit further, and then maybe even Krista dropping in at times, or whoever the six is dropping in at times, because you can see, we're pretty, straight line across, and it's almost easier for them to defend us. So that you see where Ashley is here. If Ashley starts up here and even brings this player up with her, and then Allie stays there, you can see that we have, one, two, three, four players potentially in the attack. And so if we're not able to combine, through the midfield, with our six or two tens, at least if we dump a ball into the attack, it will have plenty of numbers there to win the first ball, challenge the second ball, or win both. So again, just a thought process of, we're in clear possession right here. You can see how they're defending us just in this area right here. They have us pretty much sorted out through the center of the field. So like I said, again, the higher we can be, Ashley up beyond this player right here and in behind her. And worst case scenario, she drops back with you. And that gives Ella and Erica some more time and space on the ball. So again, if we pass this to you, it's easy for them to defend, and it keeps the game in front of them. However, if you're able to get in behind this player, we can figure out what she's going to do and maybe solve it. And it's not bad, we keep possession of the ball and keep moving it. But then on this other side, Alexia, if we can be a little bit higher, not to force Erica to play the ball on the ground, but really just to bring this player back with you and maybe give our midfield some more time so we can and switch the point of attack. Not bad to get the ball, but again, it's under pressure, and then immediately we have to, try and get it to the other side. And now, as you see here, if Ashley's up high, it helps. And again, Allie getting on the ball and getting into the final third is great too. So that's good for us to switch the point of attack. So it's not all too bad. And this is a pretty good clip here with Alexia much higher. But now the question is, since that's Addie coming back as a 9, can we get our outside backs flying a little further forward, so that if there is a loss of possession here, at least Krista, Addie, Addie, Erica, and Ella are there to be able to stop any transition to defend. No problem here. And again, nice and patient. This is great for Alexia to be that high. Into that area there. Quick pass to her is the key. And now we can combine. So again, now we see the difference in having this many numbers in the attack versus, not having players because our outside backs are too far back. Decent here. I'd almost like Alexia to be a little bit higher there, but at least now you guys can combine, and you can see that you have a nice little triangle here where you guys can combine and play through. So again, that's something we'll focus on this week a little bit as you play against more opponents that sit back or sit numbers deep. So here might be an idea, to switch the point of attack, because you can see how fixed PA Classics is on one side of the field. At that point, maybe it's, can we get the ball back around? And again, look at their shape. You can see their shape, 3-3, 3-4-2, right in that area there. Not much going on except for Allie on the other side. That's one player on that half of the field. But again, good job by getting that initial combination. The other side of this is obviously in a transition to defend moment. Are we too expansive on the loss of possession here? This is their highest player, and how far are we away from her in the event there's a loss of possession? So again, that's what we talked about last night at training. Can we end it right there and not allow them to get too much? But again, like our numbers that we have back and good recovery from you guys, and then it sparks a counter from Krista there. I think this is a pretty positive clip here. This is decent from Alexia to be in that pocket there. Good, and now you see what can come of it. At this stage, I know Krista takes the shot and, again, recognize that they have their blocks here. So the idea here is now we want to think about, can we get the ball into this space with Ashley? You can see number 5 here. Her back is to Ashley. Of course, Alexia is in this space here. We have a pass out here or in between that line there. Of course, if that goes in, everybody's happy. So again, just the thought process of getting our outside backs higher. Look at their shape. It's a great sequence here. Initially getting it in and a bounce pass. And, just us delivering that pass is everything. I think there was an even better one after this, but, just showing you that how things can help. So again, outside backs getting higher. If our 6 needs to drop in and be a little bit deeper to help us out with the buildup, that's fine too. But with our abilities as outside backs, we should be getting you guys way far forward and sending lots of crosses into the 18. Transition to defend. This is right before their corner. It's looking again at how they're defending. Is we've got to recognize that this isn't a great area for us to have a loss of possession. You can see how spread out, our left back to our other center back is. So immediately on the loss, we need to make sure that we're much tighter, and I mean, obviously the decision, I think, Ashley, we can probably play that ball into someone's feet a little earlier, no problem. But, as you guys are recovering, you can see that there's space in behind that's left open, and we've got to react a lot quicker. And again, that's what we talked about last night at training. And a great save from Addison. This situation here, that first ball, we've got to win that first ball in the corner and obviously stay marked up tight. So, of course, this is their goal, their early goal that they got. So, again, really to the point that we were making the other day about set pieces, always assume that it's going to come to you. Always assume that you've got to be involved in the defense. This next clip is a free kick from their 18, and I just want you guys to pay attention to this right here. So Addie's there, and our center backs are here. So good 40, 50, 60 yards of space that we're dealing with here. That is, it's way too big for us on a free kick. So we want to make sure that, as the ball is struck, that we have our setup here, here really tight. And it's okay that Addie's up there, applying some pressure, but everybody else has to be back further because now we're spread out and it gives them an opportunity to find gaps. You can see how our center backs are when Ella goes to apply pressure there. Now there's plenty of gates for them to play through, and that's what we've got to be careful with. And good recognition from Addison to step up and get the ball. Great run forward for Mash. So at this stage, this is what we trained last night. The situation here, as soon as there's pressure on the ball here, everybody's got to start to slide over and really keep them to one side of the field. Once she gets out this wide ball here, if we have players slid over tighter, just ahead of or just before this happens, they probably can't dribble through the middle of the field and then find gates in behind. So again, something we just got to be careful, and Allie does a good job of covering Ashley. But immediately on the loss of possession, we want to have everybody run over and get to that side to not let them out. Again, as we lose possession of the ball here, there's immediate movement to make sure that we're defending, protecting that first ball, that first long ball. Want to be a little tighter on her there. And now, unfortunately, we're in a 2v1 situation. So again, let me back up a little bit. So we initially lose possession of the ball right here. So as an outside backs, you guys need to make sure, like, if there's a question that it's not free possession, and it's a 50-50 challenge or it's well defended by the opponent, we've got to make sure that we have our three back here. And then if that's our six who's on the ball right there, if that's Krista on the ball, we want to make sure, I think that's Rhea, make sure we're dropping in and rotating and becoming the six. If you go and this is Madison, you've got to drop back. So just a nice rotation in the middle of the field, but we see a lot of really just kind of standing in this area instead of diagonally back to protect the channel that goes straight up the middle. We don't have anybody but Ella in the middle of the field right here, and that's kind of problematic against a counterattack team. So again, it's dealt with. We sniff it out, but they get a clear opportunity on the ball, and we could have stopped it in their half immediately. Same thing here. Look at the space that's open on the loss of our possession. So it was our ball, and now as soon as we lose the ball, we have one player in the middle of the field. And again, think about the direct channel to the goal and where our players are, just to back it up a little bit. We don't have the ball. We don't have the ball. It's, can we start to tuck in? Can we start to close the middle of the field a little bit faster instead of having a big gap? And again, here, no pressure on the ball, no pressure on the ball. And we're not in a good shape and we're not dropping back to be able to protect the long ball, and then it's able to go over our heads. So again, that's something we do in pregame warm up as well, where we're discussing, or where we're warming you guys up and saying, all right, back, back, back. That's when you have to drop because there's no pressure on the ball. Not bad in terms of where Alexia's position is. Probably not the time to play that ball. But again, look at the midfield in this situation. We have the ball. We don't have the ball now. So immediately, like as soon as there's even a thought of this happening, we've got to immediately start to work our way back in behind their players. And it's not easy to do, but this is not a jog. This is a sprint, to make sure that we are all doing the work and getting collective in behind the ball. Ella does a great job of delaying there, but we're following runners is very important. So again, there's delay, and then delay, and then she's giving everybody time to recover, but we're just not able to get back quick enough and tracking runners that are running in behind a little late. So again, just an opportunity they have, but it could be another situation where it's 2-0. We're a little spread out collectively as a defense here. Look at where we don't have the ball. It's a pass back. So what's our shape look like right here is the question. Where's the back four? Are you in your own half when the ball is on top of the 18? Are we able to force her down the line and get Ashley or Reagan in this situation much tighter on the ball? She doesn't pass it. As soon as the ball is in the air, we need to start dropping in. Again, that's one ball that beats three midfielders here. So who's the six in this situation? This is Krista there. So we are in a straight line defensively. So probably this side here needs to drop in and cover that area there and help out with the second ball. Good recovery there. Now we should be collective. Still a little bit of a gap in the middle of the field. Good win there from Krista. And so, again, as we talked about last night, really shifting and covering for each other and forcing the opponent, especially when they're a team that sits deep and counters. We want to make sure that their counters go wide and not straight up the middle towards our goal. So hopefully this is helpful. It's nice to, when we get a nice challenge, certainly we'd rather score more goals than the other team earlier and keep them, chasing the game. But, it's a great exercise for you guys. So hopefully you learn a little bit from the clips. See you.